views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll sit down with two filmmakers participating in the International Puerto Rican Heritage Film Festival to discuss their films and what to expect from this year's event. After that, we'll hear about Personae II, a multimedia project exploring the human spirit through dreams, fantasy, and imagination. Then we'll check out some Puerto Rican art pieces being featured in Comité Noviembre's 13th Annual National Puerto Rican Artisan Fair and Book Expo. Plus, we'll learn about The Color of Power, Heroes, Sheroes, and Their Creators, a new exhibition centered around African Diaspora and African Diaspora Experience. Later on in the show, Bobby C brings us an up-to-date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, this week's Artist Spotlight features Bronx hip-hop artist Efrain, Opus, who will debut his new song on our Open Artist stage. So, sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hey, welcome back to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Always inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, LinkedIn, and Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. So the International Puerto Rican Heritage Film Festival is an annual event that provides local and international filmmakers a platform to showcase their work and explore issues inherent to the heritage of Puerto Rico and its diaspora. It also gives them an opportunity to showcase stories relevant to the larger Latino community. And joining us now to talk about the film festival and their independent films, please welcome filmmakers Lila Patron and Antonio Asensio. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thank
Hi.
you.
Hi. Well, first and foremost, congratulations on being screened,
Thank you.
Thank
right? Or being chosen as one of the
Yes,
films being
absolutely.
screened. And so we'll start with you, Lila, right? Well, actually, let's have a conversation about the actual festival itself, right? Is this your first year, both of you, is this your first year participating in the festival?
In this one in particular, yes.
Yeah, me too.
And so what was that process like?
For me, well, my short film premiered in February, so I've done a number of film festivals. You research, you kind of do the whole process of which film festivals works for my type of project. And obviously, because my short film was about Puerto Rico, I thought this would be a perfect match for my project.
And you, Antonio?
Well, in my case, my short film has also participated in a couple of festivals before this one. But the process was basically Hania, the producer, she says, hey, there's this festival. Do you want to participate? I'm like, yes, submit it. And that's it.
And so, well, are both of you Puerto Rican or not Puerto Rican, but you have Puerto Rican content within the actual project?
I have content, but my mother is Dominican, but I have a great-great-grandmother from Puerto Rico, so that's part of my connection, my heritage in Puerto Rico.
Right,
Yes.
somos primas.
Primas, exactly.
100% Puerto Rican.
100%
Yeah,
Puerto Rican,
Boricua.
mira, y con orgullo.
Of course.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your film. So the name of your film is called No Me Olvidaré, right?
Yes, no me
De ti.
olvidaré de ti. I
Right.
will not forget you. So to me, this project was a little bit inspired by after the Hurricane Maria. I live in Los Angeles, I'm listening to the news. It was touching me, I felt devastated, and I wanted to do something. So I just wrote a little, it's a movie that a family can watch. I didn't want to go deep into politics, but I wanted to write like a Christmas story about a little girl who in 2017 is hearing the news about her family in Puerto Rico and worried about, can Santa Claus go visit my cousins? Will they have a Christmas tree? Will they have lights? So it's kind of like a simple story, but something that was touching to me and something that I could relate to, because growing up aside of the Dominican Republic or the island, every time you hear there's a problem, you're worried, you're concerned. So that was my story. And then the other thing that really touched me, how many Puerto Ricans go to war for the United States. So that was another thing that I thought, oh my God, like a lot of people, with their US flag are fighting for this country, and then in front of some need, maybe the help was not as good. So I used those elements in this soft story.
Right, no, you're clever, I get it. You're like, it's a soft story, but there's political undertones.
Exactly, and I hope at the end people enjoyed it, but also helps them think a little bit,
Exactly, to stimulate that interest in understanding the dynamics of the colonization. And we'll leave it there.
Yes.
Right. Okay, and so Por Mi Madre film.
Yeah, can't wait to see yours, by the way. Por Mi Madre is about a young girl who comes out of the closet to her mom, and her mom is not having it or doesn't really understand it. So she asks her, can you be straight? And she's like, she plays along. She says, yeah, sure, I'll try to be straight for you. And she tries and keeps failing and keeps trying. And she's doing it for her mom, which is where the title comes in. But that has like a double meaning, because we use por mi madre when we say like, I swear on my mom. So it's like that, but it also has the other meaning, which is I'm doing it for her, to please her. Yeah.
Right, interesting. Are they both feature films?
Short
Shorts,
films.
they're both shorts.
Short films,
Okay, so
yeah.
how long is your film?
My film is 12 minutes.
And your film?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And so are you being screened in the same day?
No, you screen tomorrow.
I'm screening Saturday at the Cantor Theater at the 4 o'clock show.
And you?
And I screen on Sunday at 12 noon at Teatro C.
At Teatro Sea.
Sea.
Right, yeah. Well, it would
I'm
be
thinking
C in English. Yes.
SEA.
Right,
You're
it's
right.
all
Thank
good,
you
it's
for
all good. And so, you guys, are you still in California, or you flew in for the festival?
Yes, I still live in California, and I flew in for the festival, yeah.
So I know the festival itself had a networking opening reception on Wednesday, and I understand that tonight they're going to be honoring Isaí Morales for a Lifetime Achievement Award. Are you guys going to be attending that?
Of course.
Of course.
I look
What's
forward.
that like for you?
It's exciting, and I love when they award people, because sometimes you're getting to know also people that you never either knew about or that you would have wanted to meet. So I think it's great when a film festival also honors people that have done certain things, because it's, for us as young filmmakers, it's always seeing, the things that we can achieve in general.
Yeah, you summed it up.
Sorry.
No, it's true. No, I just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Well, it's lovely, and I'm always excited to meet the new filmmakers, and we are delighted to showcase you here on our open spotlight. And we want to, of course, congratulate Veronica Caicedo for being able to sustain this festival and for making a difference in our voices. And so the festival itself, before we go, it's running till, do you know?
Until Sunday. So I believe they open on the 13th. They close Sunday the 17th.
Yeah.
And people should definitely check it out, because they have many events, and it's exciting, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the short films that they're screening for the festival, and there's good stuff in there. Yeah.
Yeah, right, and it's all our voices. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
here, sharing your voices. Congratulations once again. And you guys, for the 9th Annual International Puerto Rican Heritage Film Festival, that's currently taking place up until November 17th. And for information on film schedules and tickets, please visit iprhff.org. All right, we're going to have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll talk about a multimedia visual art and community engagement project you don't want to miss.
Praise the Lord. I'm Evangelist Barbara Mayo. I have a program called The Great God. I come on every Saturday at 3:30, channel 70 and 36 on Fios. You need to catch me, because it's a program to encourage, to lift up, and if you don't know anybody that haven't heard about the program, tell them about it. They'll be encouraged, for God is good. God bless you.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. Our next guest created a multimedia visual art and community engagement project that explores the manifestation of the human spirit through dreams, fantasy, and imagination. And joining us to tell us more about this project, please welcome photographer Carlos David and filmmaker Carlos Bido, and they're talking about Personae II, that is. All right, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Carlos.
Gracias. Thank you.
This is an amazing project that's just taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, it's becoming stronger and bigger every year, right? Every time.
So before we talk about Personae II, which has a lot of other social, political undertones, or it seems to be the theme for today's show, let's just talk about the style in which you're photographing these individuals, because it has a classic feel to it. And while you're relating people to images and or heroes and or individuals or icons that are relatable, there's another message just in the style in which you're capturing.
Yeah, I wanted to work with, in this version, I wanted to work with a very pop style, but still use remainings of the past project, which is a more classical style. So I'm trying to do the mix between a very kind of Rembrandt lighting, which is a lot of shades and shadows, but also add the color, very strong colors all the time, to make it reflective, in a way to reflect now this society that we have like such a popping colors everywhere we look, right?
And so, Carlos, oh gosh, how do you guys refer to each other? You're like, Tocayo, right?
Right.
So you've been capturing from a video perspective, right? Are you doing behind the scenes? Are you doing like testimonials? What is that component to Personae?
To Personae, I had three components. They were moving portraits. So we took these portraits, and these characters are so rich that we really wanted them sort of to come to life a little bit, like breathe. So that was one component. Another component, because they have so much messages behind them and the people who are portraying these characters, we did short documentaries about why they picked the character they wanted to pick and a little bit more about them. And then finally, there was an immersive sort of VR component, because putting a project together like this takes so much work. So that was more of the behind the scenes, where it was a 2.5-minute film where you put on goggles or you can look at them on your phone and see how a project of the scope comes together.
That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. I want to visit that. I wish we had it so that I could actually experience it. But I do want to also acknowledge that your subjects were chosen for specific reasons. And please, let's share with our audience how you're giving light and a voice to these individuals.
Yeah, I wanted to choose a diverse group of characters. They're all connected through conflict or trauma in different levels, right? And that's why the reason of the videos, I wanted to go beyond the photograph, because I can make a nice photograph and that's, I can do it. But the goal is to go beyond just a nice image and get more into talking about these issues that we have right now in society. And but talk about them through art, through a different perspective, through imagination, through fantasy.
Well, let's share with our viewers what these issues are that we're referring to, because I know you took images, and it's not to, bring it into any type of perspective. It's just so that people are aware that you're capturing people with disabilities, you're capturing people with mental issues, where you're capturing people who have recovered from drugs. I mean, and so
transgender.
And so these are all topics that people can either feel polarized and or alone.
And the videos were beautiful, because people came, saw the images, and then went to see the videos, and they hear their stories, their personal stories about how it's moving in life with having this issue. And it was very beautiful to see the people that watch the video then come back and see the images completely different, from a completely different perspective, right? Because now they understand.
Right, so you gave light to these individuals, right? And you put them in this really fabulous scene of oh, I'm in the spotlight, which for some may have been a little unusual or maybe uncomfortable. And then you went and you captured it from the perspective of showing the humanity within the relationship of the project, right?
Correct. So one thing that we did, and Carlos was an integral part of it, was we had these very intimate interviews. We said something that's called an interrotron, where you're almost talking face to face, but there's a camera behind a mirror. So people felt really comfortable with opening up about themselves, their issues, and they're talking about very sensitive and very personal things. So with being able to do that, what we got was this sort of very genuine, very intimate narrative of who they are, what their issues were, and we almost gave them a platform. Each character's interview is about 2, 3, some of them are a little longer, minutes long, and you really get to know these people in the context of the project.
That's beautiful. It really is. And I look forward to seeing the exhibition. The exhibition is still on display. I saw you brought me a book, which is lovely. So are the books for sale as well? And definitely you must sign it for me.
Yes, of course.
So just share what the experience is and how long the display is going to be.
We're going to have the exhibit until the 24th. It's at El Barrio Art Space, PS 109. And on the 23rd, we're having a talk back. We're inviting some of the participants on the project so that they can talk about their participation on the project and also their issues, their life. And we're going to be, Carlos is going to be there, I'm going to be there, and maybe another of the creatives.
Will people be able to have a virtual reality experience?
I can bring it all, yes.
You should.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's the beauty of it. It's like, yeah.
People really enjoyed that the day of. Some who had never donned VR glasses before. I think that was a nice thing to bring to El Barrio.
Lovely. Very creative. Congratulations to you both.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you for bringing it here to our viewers. And once again, you guys, Personae II is up on display at El Museo del Barrio Art Space located at 215 East 99th Street. And the gallery hours, are from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And for more on Carlos David, you can visit carlosdavid.org. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about, we'll hear all about an upcoming Artisan Fair and Book Expo. Don't go anywhere. Hello, and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So the holiday season is gearing up quickly, and if you're looking for unique gifts, well, we're going to share what's in store for this year's Comité Noviembre's Puerto Rican Artisan Fair and Book Expo. It's a day of cultural exploration while shopping for books and art pieces made and from Puerto Rican artists. Joining us to tell us more, please welcome Luis Cordero, Puerto Rican Artist and Fair and Book Expo Coordinator, and artist Doris Cordero, along with Felipe Rangel. Hello and welcome.
Hey, good morning.
Congratulations on being able to do this every single year.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I sound so enthusiastic because it's so much fun.
Yes.
It's not just shopping, it's an experience. And so thank you for always coming on here, sharing it with our viewers and bringing new artists. I'd like to start with you since you're new to the scene, at least here on our open stage, the newbie. Yes. What is your first name again?
Doris.
Doris Cordero. I was going to refer to you as Miss Cordero, but I don't know if there's any relation there.
Distant cousins, long lost distance cousins.
Right, we're all related
On
somehow.
a tree somewhere.
Yeah. So Doris, this is your artwork we're looking at here. And so if you'd like, can you share a little bit about what we're looking at?
I am a printmaker also, and I do monoprints and I do silk screen. So I have here 2 monoprints and 1 silk screen of our Puerto Rican culture, of different aspects and things that are known to our culture. So I have a pilon and
Okay, I'm looking. I'm trying to
the
see
pilon,
where the pilon is. Where's the pilon?
and I have a coffee grinder de era de mi tía, from Aunt. And then I have a ceiba tree from our beautiful ceiba trees in Puerto Rico. So I made a series, and this is one of the series of my ceiba trees.
And so we're looking at that now, and basically it looks like all of your artwork is symbolic of like visiting the island and of our ancestry, right?
Absolutely.
Because the pilon, it actually comes from our indigenous ancestry.
Absolutely.
And we still use it.
Oh, absolutely. Every kitchen has one.
Well, mine does too. And so, Felipe.
Yes.
You're all the way over here, but I got your buddy right here.
Yes.
Yeah, well, one of your buddies, and you've got some other art pieces here. Shall we talk a little bit about the
Yes,
Gigante?
well,
Give us a little
let me
background.
move
Are you gonna
over
step over
here?
here?
Yes.
All right, so step over here, right
So
behind it.
basically what you're looking at is the Gigante mask from the Carnival of Ponce. And it's a very regional celebration that we've done it for maybe since 1857. So this has a big history behind it, but it's very local from Ponce. And the Gigante masks are celebrated in February, which is the carnival. And it has the colors of Ponce, which is black and red. That's why you have all the colors besides it too. And in addition to that, I have
You brought these items
calabash
here.
gourd, which is mine. And the calabash gourd is the piece that represents, that piece in the image, and it has the 3 kings. And this is another creation of mine. So I carve them, paint them, and then, put a shine to it.
Okay, so
So that's
these
what I
2
do.
pieces are yours, right?
No, only the
This
calabash.
one right
Yes.
here, okay? And
Yes.
the 3 kings is symbolic within the Puerto Rican cultura.
Yes, Epiphany celebration in Puerto Rico in January 6th. So that's a big celebration in Puerto Rico. Is our way of celebrating Christmas in Puerto Rico.
And this is beautiful. Is this made from coconut?
It's a calabash gourd.
It's a calabash gourd.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's actually made from nature as well.
Right. Yes. Very,
Nice.
very.
Very nice. How
Thank
long does
you.
it take you to make items like that?
Piece like this will take me about 2 months. So this is a very elaborate piece. Takes patience and a lot of dedication to it. This one maybe about a week or 2.
And that's day in and day out. 'cause
Day
it's
in,
beautiful.
day out.
It's
Yeah.
very, very detailed. So
Yes.
Yes, it's lovely. Definitely a collector's item right
Yes.
there. Yes. And so, Luis, I saved you for last because while we're talking about what our item you brought to share with us, you can also discuss a little further how you choose your artists and just the importance of this event, because you put a lot of work into this every single year.
Right, we've been doing this, 13 years now? And it's been nonstop. It's been a great event. Every year we attract a whole lot of people. It's free to the public, so we get thousands of people to Hostos. And then the artists that participate, they're not all professional artists. A lot of them are artists who make stuff in their homes. They share it with their family, with their friends. And my thing is, hey, you got to share this with our community. And they bring what they create, and it's incredible that they are not trained artists. Some of them never went to school to study art. They retired and started.
And so this
that.
piece that we're talking about here,
That one there
because
is...
this is the only one we didn't discuss, and I want to share
Right.
this with our viewers because I also want to have a conversation about the fact that there's a lot of artisans as well. And I didn't mean to just, disregard what you're saying as far as some of these crafts individuals not being trained. They're just like basically born to do certain things. But this particular piece that we're looking at right here is a conga.
Right. That one is made by one of the artisans that's coming in from Puerto Rico. And this is by Vincent Huertas, and this is one of his simple pieces. I mean, he also has some more elaborate pieces with coquilles, with tortugas, with things that have to do with Puerto Rican culture and folklore.
So what we're looking at here is just some of the items that will be on display and for sale at the Art Expo and Book Expo, I should say. And so let's just talk about the books really quickly before we go, because again, I can't stress it enough. You guys, this is like a field day trip. I mean, you just go and just be prepared to spend the entire day because there's entertainment going on as well. But the books, how many authors are going to be selling books there?
Right. Usually we have about 25 to 30 authors, and they're all, Puerto Rican authors. They either self-publish or they're published by publishing houses. And, literature plays an important role in Puerto Rican culture.
Absolutely.
So
well, as does our artwork. I mean, the idea is to make sure that our voices are heard, they're documented, and that we are knowledgeable of our own history coming from our own voices.
Exactly.
And I can't stress enough, these are the most unique gifts that you can give someone this holiday season. So once again, thank you all three for being here with us. And once again, you guys, the National Puerto Rican Artisan Fair and Book Expo will take place Saturday, November 23rd from 12 noon to 7 p.m. at Hostos Community College, which is located at 450 Grand Concourse, and I can't stress it enough, it is the most fun, the funnest way to shop. I always have a ball, so make sure you get out. All right, once again, that's November 23rd. All right, we got to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll talk comics, superheroes, and Afro diaspora. Don't go anywhere.
We are Jerome Avenue, the heart of the Bronx. This is where I grew up. Business is booming, people are moving, everyone works hard. Nothing was handed to anyone here. I've been in here to take my passport pictures. I bought flowers here for my mother. Oh, this is where I get my smoothies, by the way. Continuation. This is what we call the O, 170th Street. It feels so Bronx. Hey, my man Fonzie. We've walked up and down the corridor, nothing but love. And I'm glad to say that Jerome is home.
Hey, welcome back to Open, everyone. The color of, the color of power. How could I forget? It's the color of power. And that's heroes, sheroes, and their creators. That's a new upcoming exhibition showcasing the independent work of professional comic book artists of the African diaspora. It's also meant to create a conversation of the African diaspora experience and the transference of stories given to these superhero characters. And joining us to tell us more about the exhibition, we welcome the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute Executive Director Melody Capote and guest curator and creator of La Borinqueña, Edgardo Miranda Rodriguez, and artist Alita Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you for giving me that power. I was like, oh
That's
my
what it's about. It's all about giving power.
It is about giving power, and we're so grateful to y'all for bringing it here to our viewers and sharing with us. Edgardo, you're doing amazing stuff, and I'm going to get to you in a second, but I want to share with everyone a little bit about what Melody is doing. I mean, congratulations on your new role as the executive director.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's been a year now or so,
It's a little
and
over a
you've been
year.
doing a phenomenal job. Let's just share with everyone, I guess, how you make your choices in the art as well as the programming.
Well, important to the center is that we look at the commonalities we share, the common thread we share as people of African descent. And now that we're in a new location, we had a renovated firehouse in El Barrio on 125th between Lexington and Park. We want to make very conscious decisions about the types of programming that we provide to the public, who are coming to this space and saying, wow, this looks like, this belongs downtown. And we're saying, no, we have excellence in our own backyard and in our own communities. And we're making very kind of strategic decisions about the kinds of shows we're presenting so that the community does feel welcome and are engaged and aren't kind of feeling distant from what galleries and arts institutions are supposed to do, which is to engage communities and make art accessible, and most importantly, have art and representation that looks like us. Exactly. And that is exactly the work that we're doing on a consistent basis.
Yes, and Edgardo, all right, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for being a stand for that. But going to your style of communicating, your style of being that voice. This graphic novel, just seen, it's its own culture. I mean, if my daughter was here, she would be going gaga over the fact that you're here again, because La Borinqueña is her favorite graphic novel. Mm-hmm. So thank you for producing that and creating that, and share with everyone how you've been able to expand on that, because you're doing really great stuff.
Well, the work that I'm doing has always been about celebrating our heritage and connecting us to our roots and our history. And this opportunity the Melody has given me as being a guest curator at the Caribbean Culture Center allows me the opportunity to highlight artists like Alita Martinez, Ronald Wimberly, Afua Richardson, Neela Magruder, and Sanford Green, award-winning artists. In the comic book industry, we have our own Oscars. We call it the Eisners. We're sitting next to an Eisner award-winning artist, Alita Martinez. She's one of our community's best, an incredibly prolific artist with work in Marvel and other imprints, but she also, like the artists in this show, have created her own work. You Man Ever is her own independent series that she's created, and this is an opportunity when people come to the Caribbean Cultural Center to see original work owned by the artist creating it. And it's important because when we see these films on the big screen, the characters, the actors that are playing these roles, these superheroes, are not owned by the actors, are not owned by the artists that created it. But these artists, these characters, these projects are all owned by the artists. This book in the middle, Prince of Cats, was just announced this week. Spike Lee is going to be directing this graphic novel into a film. Just last month, Bitterroot was just announced that Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, will be making that into a major motion picture. So we have award-winning artists in our show, and we also have projects, independent books that are going to be made into feature motion pictures.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing. And I know it's a big deal, and I hope everyone's getting what type of a big deal is, because it's challenging to go and put your blood, sweat, and tears in and use up your creative juices, and then somebody else basically owns the rights to it.
Oh, the way you stare at me.
Yes, only because you're the Eisner winner, and you've been there. You've done the commercial, and now you're here with us doing the community, which is lovely.
Well, first I'd say I love working for Marvel in DC. Was my childhood dream. I just didn't know it was a dream that women did not share, much as minority women. So it was a uphill battle all the way. Then you finally reach the top of that hill and you realize, oh, I've got to keep climbing. There's a long way more to go. That's why I created You, Me, and Ever and Foreign. It's sort of like an outlet for myself. That's Foreign is also my book. It's my sci-fi action drama. My son and I actually pressed this book in the house ourselves because, you know, there's not enough art in our life. And I like to work in like a little sweatshop. So there we go. So we make it, we come out and we sell it at comic book conventions because I always say Marvel and DC, they don't need me to sell their books. I need to show my own work and sell and present that to the public because no one else will if I don't.
Right. And that's what this exhibition is really all about, giving artists an opportunity to showcase their work, showcase their talents, showcase their stories. Alisa will be at the Caribbean Culture Center actually leading a workshop on head drawing. Can you tell us a little bit about that the workshop you're going to be giving?
Well, I also teach at SVA, teach Drawing 1 and Drawing 2, which is a whole other story because it's a school I could not graduate from because of the very male-centric culture. Now I'm actually a teacher there 20 years later, and that's part of what I teach in my curriculum. I also work with the U.S. State Department, and I go around the world spreading the love of comics and classes very much like how to draw heads. It's breaking it down to the numbers, to what anyone can do, because we are all artists inside. We are all very good at discerning the human mask, which is our faces, and we can learn to draw this. So I created a booklet and a program where you can pick this up, and by the end, you're drawing the human face.
That's lovely. And so are these going to be listed on the CCADI's website?
Yeah, all of the public programs will be listed. And again, it's really an opportunity for us to serve as a platform to highlight the beauty and the excellence that comes from our own community. And when we talk about superheroes, it's an opportunity for us to think about the human element and the hero that lives within each of us. So with the color of power, that was the intention in naming the show what it is. It's the superheroes that live in each one of us through social justice, through cultural equity, through inclusion, on an everyday basis, not segmented into kind of celebrations of ethnic months like Hispanic Heritage or Black History Month, but all year round.
All year
and
round,
really looking at
which
that
is why
excellence.
it's on display until June 2020.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we're
Very
inviting,
good. Well
we're inviting
done.
schools to come because it's a long year and a half year that will be up. So schools are more than welcome to attend, do
Have
workshops.
workshops.
I'll be there to lead workshops as well. So it's a great opportunity. And a
Oh,
great
we're
space.
going to be there. My daughter's a manga drawer, so thank you all for bringing it to
good.
El Barrio. And once again, you guys, the Color of Power heroes, sheroes, and their creators, opening reception will take place on Saturday, November 16th, and that's happening at CCADI's, which is the Caribbean Cultural Center Afro Diaspora Institute at 120 East 125th Street. And for more information, you can visit cccadi.org. All right, stay tuned because Baba C's weekly sports roundup is coming up next.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
We begin our look at sports on the NBA hardwood. The New York Knicks enacted some revenge Thursday night at the Garden. The Orange and Blue welcomed former star Kristaps Porzingis into the building for the first time since trading him to Dallas last season. The Mavericks defeated the Knicks first time out in Dallas, but with KP's return to the world's most famous arena, the outcome would play out differently, thanks in large part to Marcus Morris, one of the players the Knicks signed with KP's cap space. The Knicks beat the Mavericks 106-103. Porzingis had 20 points on 7 of 17 shooting plus 11 rebounds in his return to MSG. Morris had the step-back three game winner and also finished with 20 points and a nice highlight for an organization that has been making all kinds of wrong headlines of late. The Knicks welcome Charlotte Saturday night and Cleveland back to the Garden on Monday night. The Brooklyn Nets have signed former Knick Iman Shumpert to replace Wilson Chandler, who is currently suspended. The Nets fell 101-93 in Denver Thursday night. They are in Chicago Saturday night. The Nets were rumored to add Carmelo Anthony on several occasions this offseason. Well, it looks like Melo is heading to Portland, another spot that was on the rumor mill. Anthony, the 19th leading scorer in NBA history, is set for another shot at increasing his point total. The 35-year-old forward agreed to a non-guaranteed contract with the slumping Portland Trailblazers Thursday. Anthony has been out of the NBA since playing 10 games for the Houston Rockets early in the 2018-19 season. He last played on November 8th, 2018, when he shot 1 for 11 from the floor and scored just 2 points in Houston's 98-80 loss at Oklahoma City. The Rockets then kept him inactive until trading him to the Chicago Bulls on January 22nd in a deal that involved cash and the swap of 2 European players. The Bulls waived Anthony on February 1st. A 10-time All-Star, Anthony was the NBA scoring champion in 2012-13 with the Knicks. This is likely his last shot at winning that elusive NBA championship. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. We begin on the ice, where the Broadway Blue Shirts had a rough night on the road Thursday. The host Tampa Bay Lightning started strong and rolled to a 9-3 victory. The power play was key for the Lightning. The Rangers will look to bounce back Saturday night in Florida when they skate against the Panthers. Puck drops at 7 p.m. The Islanders are in Philadelphia Saturday night. The Devils are home tonight to welcome Pittsburgh, who is without star Sidney Crosby. Crosby had surgery to repair a core muscle and will be sidelined for 6 weeks. What a game on Thursday Night Football. Some major fireworks at the very end. Cleveland topped Pittsburgh, but that wasn't the story. A violent incident marred the end of the game when Browns defensive end Myles Garrett ripped the helmet off Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Rudolph and used it to strike Rudolph in the head. Garrett was one of 3 players ejected after instigating that ugly brawl with 8 seconds remaining in the game. Don't expect to see him on a football field anytime soon. Brawls aside, the NFL game of the week thus far belongs to the action we saw between 2 NFC West heavyweights on Monday Night Football. This one did not disappoint. The San Francisco 49ers opened up a 10-0 lead early against Seattle, but a game-changing defensive touchdown got the Seahawks right back in it. At the half, San Fran led 10-7. That was just the beginning of a matchup that would go on into overtime. The 1972 Miami Dolphins can pop the champagne. The final undefeated team of the 2019 season has finally lost. Despite their best effort, the Niners battled but fell short to the visiting Seahawks and Russell Wilson, who strengthened his MVP case by helping lead the Seahawks to a 27-24 win in overtime. Wilson's 21-yard run in OT set up the game-winning field goal as time expired. Seattle improved to 8-2 while closing the gap between themselves and the NFC West leading Niners, who fell to 8-1. In baseball, Los Angeles Angels center fielder Mike Trout became the 11th player in history to win at least 3 MVP awards, topping Houston Astros third baseman Alex Bregman in results that were announced on Thursday. Trout joins a list of players with 3+ MVPs that is headed by Barry Bonds, a 7-time winner. No one else has won more than the 3 captured by Trout: Albert Pujols, Alex Rodriguez, Mike Schmidt, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Roy Campanella, Stan Musial, Joe DiMaggio, and Jimmy Fox. That is some list, folks. In the National League, that honor goes to LA Dodgers star outfielder first baseman Cody Bellinger, who you also just saw. He topped the 2018 winner, Milwaukee Brewers right fielder Christian Yelich. Closer to home, 2 players from the Mets have some major hardware To add to the trophy case, Jacob deGrom is the National League Cy Young Award winner again. deGrom was a near unanimous choice when he beat out Max Scherzer for the award in 2018, garnering 29 of 30 first-place votes. Then as well, the three-time All-Star continued to dominate opposing hitters this season with an NL-high 255 strikeouts and a 2.43 ERA in 204 innings. Once again edging Mad Max, deGrom had a higher wins above replacement. Amazin's rookie first baseman Pete Alonso is the National League Rookie of the Year. The 2016 second-round draft pick from the University of Florida exceeded every Mets fan's wildest dreams. This season, Alonso wowed the entire landscape of Major League Baseball with what seems like an endless list of accolades. NL Rookie of the Year, Home Run Derby champion, NL Rookie of the Month 3 times, Sporting News NL Rookie of the Year, MLBPA National League Rookie of the Year, Baseball Digest Rookie of the Year, and last but certainly not least, the all-time rookie home run crown. Pretty good for a guy who was in a position battle heading into opening day, right? The New York Jets are in Washington this Sunday, riding high following their victory over Big Blue. The New York Giants have the bye week. They return in Chicago next Sunday. G-Men rookie QB Daniel Jones didn't seem enamored with his nickname Danny Dimes when asked about it early this season. Jones, though, doesn't want anyone else to profit off of that nickname, like it or not, so the rookie filed a trademark request last month for Danny Dimes, according to ESPN. And in motor racing, with his win at Phoenix and advancing to the Championship 4 race in Miami, Denny Hamlin is once again back on top of this week's NBC Sports NASCAR Power Rankings. Not surprisingly, all 4 drivers who will battle for the championship are in the top 4 in this week's rankings. Kyle Busch is second, last week's number 1. Kevin Harvick drops to 3rd, and Martin Truex Jr. is 4th. Top story from motorsport is a sad one, though, this Friday morning. Jorge Lorenzo is retiring from MotoGP after growing speculation and a worsening struggle to regain confidence and form on his Honda. The 32-year-old 5-time world champion is calling it a day. Lorenzo announced that he will retire from MotoGP competition with this weekend's Valencia GP, his final race. He made the announcement at a special press conference on the eve of what will be his final race this Sunday. It is the circuit where he secured the first of 2 250cc titles in 2006, the last of 3 Premier Class titles in 2015, and where he secured 4 of his 47 Premier Class wins out of a career total of 65 in all classes. He's one of the all-time greats and will be missed. Lorenzo cited injuries and a lack of drive to win for saying goodbye to the sport. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the 2 hellos in the Yankee clubhouse who could be as important as any signing Brian Cashman makes this offseason. The Yankees general manager has made it clear the Bronx Bombers weren't a player or 2 away from winning the World Series. They were a play or 2 away from winning it all. He told the media this week, while also acknowledging that the Pinstripers will be all in on some of the major pitching free agents on the market. The Yanks made 2 less sexy moves in the coaching ranks that could ultimately prove to be major difference makers by the time it's all said and done next fall. The Yankees hired Tanner Swanson as their catching and quality control coach. Swanson was the minor league catching coordinator for the Minnesota Twins this past season. The Bombers are going to make Gary Sanchez a better receiver no matter what. Sanchez, who struggled in the postseason, still has the trust of general manager Brian Cashman, but Cash knows that Swanson can make Sanchez into a much better catcher, hence the hire. Meanwhile, the same could be said in the pitching department. 4 years ago, Matt Blake was testing his progressive pitching philosophies on high school hurlers in the Boston suburbs, a precursor to what would be a dizzying rise through the world of professional baseball. Now he will be delivering those lessons for the Yankees, having been named as the club's new pitching coach. Blake, who previously worked in the Yankees organization as an area scout, returns after 4 seasons with the Cleveland Indians, where he was recently promoted to Director of Pitching Development. The 34-year-old spent the last 3 seasons as the club's Assistant Director of Player Development, overseeing the formation of pitching strategy for the organization. Blake pitched 4 seasons at the College of Holy Cross and graduated in 2007 with a degree in psychology and philosophy. As recently as 2015, Blake was serving as the pitching coach for a high school. Seems crazy, but looks like Cash has done the same as he's done on the baseball diamond. He's uncovered some of the diamonds in the rough in the coaching ranks. Those two coaches could loom as large next time around, especially now that the Houston Astros have been busted for stealing signs. Coaching is more important than ever, folks. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay with us.
Here we are, Jerome Avenue, the heart of the Bronx. This is where I grew up. Business is booming, people are moving, everyone works hard. Nothing was handed to anyone here. I've been in here to take my passport pictures. I bought flowers here for my mother. Oh, this is where I get my smoothies, by the way. Continuation. This is what we call the O, 170th Street. It feels so Bronx. Hey, my man Fonzie. We've walked up and down the corridor, nothing but love. And I'm glad to say that Jerome is home. We are Jerome Avenue, the heart of the Bronx. This is where I grew up. Business is booming, people are moving, everyone works hard. Nothing was handed to anyone here. I've been in here to take my passport pictures. I bought flowers here for my mother. Oh, this is where I get my smoothies, by the way. Continuation. This is what we call the O, 170th Street. It feels so Bronx. Hey, my man Fonzie. We've walked up and down the corridor, nothing but love. And I'm glad to say that Jerome is home.
Hey, welcome back. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. This week's Open Artist Spotlight features a hip-hop artist from the Bronx who uses his upbringing and life as inspiration to create music. Here now to perform Summertime in the South Bronx, please welcome Efrain Opus.
CC, 2 times now. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, who's nice now, yo? Huh? You see, I have no time now, no. Ay, pero mami, I came to party, not play the war. Get on the dance floor like, hey, hey. You dance on 2 or 3, who's true is me. That's how it goes, we are no soul. And you feeling as if ain't nobody knew it's me. But enough of that, the summer's hot pop. I'm in the drop top, come through on the block like, pa que lo sepa, I take the prettiest girl in here. And that's Sasha, dale vueltas like. Oh, yeah, I think I can't get her, huh? I call my baby my Malta Piragua, cause that's my baby, my Malta Piragua. We dancing in the corner, the whole club just watch us. Luck be a lady, see that's natural. Blocka, blocka, blocka. Back up in the spot with nothing but a bunch of wins. I heard you lose a lot. If life's a moving and they a bootleg and boosted, you thought you were this hot. Ask me, will I ever quit? I'm supposed to be on the bench. I'm too busy on minority. Yeah, looks bit deceiving, that's more than this. Huh? Hey, bada bing, I keep it clean. I dance, rap, and I sing like. Yeah, and if you drink, throw your hands in the air one time, like. Hey, listen, 2 times now, dos. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, who's nice now? Mira. No te duerma, no te duerma. Hey. Don't sleep on me, homie, something like a bad mattress. My flow is so acrobatic, rap gymnastics, double handsprings and backflips, that elastic. Corazon so Jurassic, far from average, syllables roll immaculate. I should go for my masters, this ain't mastered. Matter of fact, this ain't even mixed. I'm leaving this flow, let's go backwards, go, let's flow. Not leaving, I'm mixed, even ain't it fact of mastered, ain't this? Oh, yeah, this that, far from basic, far like spaceship. Neo's part in Matrix, you know, gold souls beat inflation, Bronx Kruger, my GDP is major. Goes domestic production, you ain't with, but back to the name, cuz I'm New Rican, homie, let me paint this picture like Picasso. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans argue over arroz. Chulatenses, tostones, a staple, no disrespect us. Ole bascarda to yo, pa que lo sepa, te lo meto. On anybody trying to spoil my late night party. Bacardi mixed to my glass with Frankie Ruiz on blast. Yeah, 2 in the mornings, neighbors call a cop. Like, excuse me, can you lower this? Don't kill my vibe, Puerto Ricans are full of pride. Yeah, Puerto Ricans are full of pride. Ay, mendísimo. Hay un líquido, el baño, super supposed to fix por un año. You disrespect, yo lo regaño. I think all over her dress, get the baño. Yeah. Thank you.
Opus,
Thank
wepa.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, that was very fun, very fun. Nice way to close out the show. Really quickly, where can people follow you? Where's your music available?
Yeah, you can follow me at Efrain Opus. That's EFRAIN OPUS. EfrainOpus.com, and I'm on all platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. But I have a project coming out in the summer called Toma. It's an acronym to obey my ancestors. I'm going to be doing salsa infused hip hop. I'm trying to put New Rican rap back on the map.
All right, well, what's the acronym stand for?
To obey my ancestors. Toma.
To obey my ancestors. That's what's up. Woo! Consciousness. Love that. All right, you guys, once again, Efrain Opus. He can be found on all musical platforms. Check him out on Instagram at Efrain Opus. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide, peace, prosperity, y amor, and bueno, happy Puerto Rican Heritage Month, mi gente. If you didn't know, now you know. Vámonos. We're taking this out with yours. Wait, where's the music? ¿Dónde está la música? Hey.
Sí, sí. 2 times now. Dos. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, who's nice now? Yo. Huh? You see, I have no time now. Ay, pero mami, I came to party, not play the wall, get on the dance floor. Hey, hey. You dance on 2 or 3?